Every year, over 264 million people across the globe grapple with depression. Depression is a pervasive and all too common reality, permeating every corner of our world. It does not discriminate, cutting across all ages, races, and socioeconomic backgrounds. It's a universal challenge, a shared struggle that binds us in our humanity, and yet, it is often a battle fought in solitude. Depression isn't just a bad day or a temporary slump, it's a persistent feeling of sadness, a heavy cloud that hangs overhead, coloring every aspect of your life. It's a thief, stealing joy from the mundane and magic from the extraordinary. It's a constant companion whispering in your ear, sowing seeds of doubt and despair. And yet, despite its prevalence, depression remains shrouded in stigma and misunderstanding. Many view it as a sign of weakness or a character flaw, rather than recognizing it as a legitimate medical condition. This misconception fuels the isolation that many depression sufferers experience, making it even harder for them to seek help and find hope. But there's an important truth that we need to remember. Depression is not a life sentence. It's a condition that can be managed, a mountain that can be climbed. And while the journey may be steep and the road may be rocky, the view from the top is worth the struggle. As we delve into our main topic today, we hope to shed light on the darkness that is depression. We'll explore practical strategies for coping, tools that can help you navigate the storm and find your way back to calm waters. We'll discuss the power of connection, the importance of self-care, and the transformative potential of mindfulness and meditation. We'll challenge negative thought patterns and explore ways to find hope and move forward. Depression is a silent epidemic, but you are not alone, and there is hope. Together, we can face this challenge head-on, armed with knowledge, compassion, and resilience. Because no one should have to walk this path alone, and everyone deserves to live a life filled with joy, peace, and fulfillment. Depression often wears a mask, making it difficult to recognize. It's a silent battle waged in the mind, often unseen and unheard. Yet, it impacts millions of lives, painting their world in shades of gray. Depression is more than just a low mood or a sad day. It's a serious mental health condition that leaves a deep impact on a person's thoughts, feelings, and daily life. It's like a heavy cloud that hangs over you, draining your energy, motivation, and ability to enjoy life. Some of the common symptoms include persistent sadness, loss of interest in activities once enjoyed, changes in appetite, difficulty sleeping, feelings of worthlessness, and even thoughts of death or suicide. However, it's crucial to remember that these symptoms can vary greatly from person to person. Depression often disguises itself as fatigue, irritability, or just a lack of motivation. It's not always about the tears or the sorrow. Sometimes it's about feeling numb, detached, and disconnected from the world around you. In our society, there's often a stigma associated with mental health issues, causing many to suffer in silence. But it's important to remember that depression is not a sign of weakness or a character flaw. It's a medical condition that requires understanding, compassion, and professional help. If you or someone you know is exhibiting these symptoms, it's crucial to seek help from a mental health professional. It's not about just snapping out of it or pulling yourself together. Depression is a real and serious illness that needs professional intervention. Self-diagnosing can lead to misinterpretations and could potentially delay the necessary treatment. It's always better to consult with a professional who can provide a proper diagnosis and guide you towards the right treatment path. Depression might be a formidable adversary, but with the right help and support, it can be managed. Remember, reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your strength. Understanding depression is the first step towards overcoming it. Human connection is a powerful antidote to depression. Let's dive into this. You see, as humans, we are inherently social creatures. We thrive on interaction, on sharing experiences, and on the sense of belonging that comes from being part of a community. This is why, when we're feeling low or lost in the depths of depression, reaching out to others can be a lifeline. Think about it. When you share your feelings, you're not only unburdening yourself, but also opening the door for others to express their empathy, offer comfort, or share their own experiences. It's a two-way street that builds understanding and fosters emotional bonds. Reaching out doesn't necessarily mean pouring your heart out to everyone you meet, though. It can be as simple as picking up the phone to call a friend, sending a text to check in on someone, or even just spending time in the company of others. Small steps can have a big impact. But what if you don't feel comfortable opening up to people in your immediate circle? Or what if they're not able to provide the support you need? That's where support groups and online communities come in. These are safe spaces where you can connect with people who are going through similar experiences. They understand what you're going through because they've been there too. And then there's professional help. Therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists. These are trained professionals who can provide you with the tools and strategies to manage and overcome depression. They can guide you through the process, providing support and understanding along the way. So you see, connection is not just about being surrounded by people. It's about feeling understood, accepted, and supported. It's about knowing that you're not alone in your struggle, and that there are people out there who care about your well-being. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to face depression alone. There's a whole world of connection out there waiting for you to reach out. So take that step because you are worth it. And remember, the power of connection can be a formidable weapon in your fight against depression. Self-care is not selfish. It's a crucial part of battling depression. And what is self-care? It's the art of taking care of one's physical and mental health, which are interconnected in ways we often overlook. It's about creating a routine that nurtures our bodies and in turn our minds. Let's start with the basics: food. A healthy diet not only fuels our bodies but our minds too. Consuming well-balanced meals filled with fruits, vegetables, proteins, and whole grains can enhance our mood and energy levels. It's about nourishing ourselves, not just feeding. And remember, it's perfectly okay to indulge in your favorite comfort food sometimes. It's all about balance. Next up is exercise. Regular physical activity can be a powerful mood enhancer. It helps reduce anxiety, improve sleep, and boost self-esteem. You don't have to run a marathon or lift heavy weights. A brisk walk in the park, a quick dance session in your living room, or a relaxing yoga session can do wonders. The goal is to move and enjoy it, not to exhaust ourselves. Sleep, oh sweet sleep, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Lack of quality sleep can exacerbate depressive symptoms. So, let's prioritize it. Create a calming bedtime routine, limit screen time before bed, and aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. It's not about sleeping more, it's about sleeping better. Finally, let's talk about relaxation and enjoyment. We live in a world that often glorifies being busy, but it's important to take time to relax, unwind, and do things we enjoy. Whether it's reading a book, listening to music, gardening, or simply sitting quietly, these moments of peace can help recharge our mental batteries. In the end, self-care is not about being perfect. It's about making small, sustainable changes that enhance our well-being. It's about being kind to ourselves, giving ourselves permission to rest, to enjoy, and to heal. Taking care of your physical health can significantly improve your mental health. Did you know that mindfulness and meditation can help ease depression? It might sound mystical, but these age-old practices have been scientifically shown to have a profound impact on our mental health. Let's dive in and explore how. Mindfulness, at its core, is all about being present in the moment. It's focusing on the here and now, not dwelling on what has happened in the past, or worrying about what might happen in the future. When we're depressed, we often get stuck in a cycle of negative thoughts, replaying past mistakes or imagining worst-case scenarios. But mindfulness helps us break free from this cycle. It allows us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. We become an impartial spectator to our own thoughts, and in doing so, we can identify those depressive thoughts and let them go. Now, how do you practice mindfulness? It's simpler than you might think. Start by taking a few moments each day to focus on your breath. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. Notice the sensations in your body, the sounds around you. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. This is mindfulness in action. Meditation, while closely related, is a slightly different practice. It's a deliberate act of focus and concentration, often using a mantra or visualization to help guide your thoughts. There are many forms of meditation, but a simple one to start with is a basic breathing meditation. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. If thoughts arise, acknowledge them, and then let them go, returning your focus to your breath. Just 10 minutes a day can make a significant difference. In essence, mindfulness and meditation are about cultivating awareness and acceptance. They help us gain control over our thoughts rather than letting our thoughts control us. They teach us to be patient and kind with ourselves, to recognize that it's okay to have bad days, and to understand that thoughts, like clouds, come and go. Mindfulness is a tool that, when used correctly, can help manage depression. By training our minds to be more present and less reactive, we can navigate life's ups and downs with more grace and resilience. Depression often distorts our thinking, but we have the power to challenge these distortions. Take a moment to consider that statement. Our minds, so often our staunchest allies, can sometimes become our most formidable adversaries, particularly when we're grappling with depression. But the beauty is, we possess the capacity to challenge, reshape, and ultimately change our thought patterns. One effective strategy for confronting these distortions is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This therapeutic technique encourages us to identify, challenge, and alter negative thought patterns, replacing them with healthier, more constructive ones. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a dense forest, the trees representing your negative thoughts. CBT is like a compass, guiding us through that forest, helping us recognize each tree for what it truly is, not just an impenetrable barrier, but a challenge we can overcome. Let's take an example. You might have a recurring thought like, "I'm worthless." That's a hefty statement, isn't it? In CBT, we'd break this down, questioning the validity of this thought. Is it based on fact or feeling? What evidence supports it? More often than not, you'll find that these thoughts are not rooted in reality, but rather in the distortions depression creates. Then comes the next step, challenging this thought. Might there be alternative explanations? What about the times when you felt valued and appreciated? What about your accomplishments, no matter how small they might seem? Slowly, you start to see the forest thinning, the trees not as imposing as they once were. You realize that the thought, "I'm worthless," isn't a fact, but a perception, one that you have the power to change. And this is the final and perhaps most crucial step in CBT, replacing the negative thought with a healthier, more balanced one. Instead of "I'm worthless," you might say, "I have value and worth even when I don't feel it." It's a process, not an overnight transformation, but each small step brings you closer to a healthier, more balanced mindset. Remember, thoughts are not facts. We have the power to challenge and change our thoughts, and in doing so, we can reshape our world. Depression may make the world seem bleak, but there is always hope. It's like a sunrise after the longest night, a rainbow after a storm. Hope, my friends, is the light at the end of the tunnel, the silver lining in the cloud of depression. It's the force that propels us forward, providing the strength to keep fighting, the courage to face another day. In the midst of the struggle with depression, it's easy to lose sight of this light. But remember, even the darkest night will pass, and the dawn will break. The journey to recovery from depression is filled with challenges, but it's also filled with remarkable victories. Let's take inspiration from those who've walked this path before us. Consider the story of Emily. For years, Emily battled severe depression, feeling as though she was trapped in a never-ending cycle of despair. But she held on to hope. She sought help, embraced therapy, and began practicing self-care. Little by little, she reclaimed her life. Today, Emily uses her experiences to help others, spreading positivity and hope. Then there's James. James found himself in the throes of depression following a life-altering event. He felt lost, overwhelmed by a sense of hopelessness. But James refused to let depression define him. He found strength in connection, in the support of loved ones, and in the power of positivity. Today, he is a beacon of hope for others, shining light into the darkness of depression. These stories, and countless others like them, serve as reminders that hope is resilient, persistent, and incredibly powerful. They remind us that no matter how steep the climb, how heavy the burden, or how dark the night, there is always the promise of a new day, a fresh start, and a brighter future. Our journey may be unique, but our destination is the same. A life free from the shackles of depression, a life filled with hope and joy. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Each moment of hope, no matter how fleeting, is a triumph. No matter how dark it gets, always hold on to hope. Depression is a challenging journey, but with the right strategies, you can navigate it successfully. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered today. We've peeled back the layers of depression, revealing it for what it truly is, a hidden epidemic. We've underscored the power of connection, the role of self-care, the benefits of mindfulness and meditation, and the importance of challenging negative thought patterns. Remember, each of these strategies is a tool in your resilience toolbox. Use them to build a healthier mindset and a brighter outlook. But don't forget, while these strategies are powerful, they're not a substitute for professional help. If you're in the throes of depression, reach out. Seek help from a mental health professional. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more informative and supportive content. Remember, you're not alone in this journey.